back for the third time like I never left. Anyway, it's your man Legend. I hope you're well. If you weren't looking, what happened, I had an earbud in. I thought it was recording, so I talked for like 5 minutes and nothing was happening. So thank you, Ellie, for letting me know. Thank you, Lee, for letting me know that I was talking to nobody. But anyway, I'm back. I'm at South by Southwest. I'm leaving now on the way to the airport. My name's Legend. I'm an artist. I'm a speaker. Having a great time down here. It's the second time coming to South by Southwest. If you don't know, big music, tech, art festival in Austin, Texas. It's an amazing time. Having a good time out here. I'm on the way back to the airport. Thought it'd be fun to do my first Facebook Live. So thanks for chiming in on my first Facebook Live about how good of a time I had down here and some things I learned. I'm hoping that these things are inspirational to you. I like to make content to encourage people to chase their dreams or to tackle those tough topics. In fact, I have a podcast I do on iTunes and right here where I talk about those topics and interview people. Make sure you click the subscribe and notifications so you don't miss any content. New episode of the Fear Not podcast coming Monday. Okay, so my name's Legend. I'm on the way back to the airport. A couple of quick things. If you don't know me, I'm not a very administrative person. Very creative, being with people, love connecting, extrovert, all that stuff. Can get on stage, but planning stuff and all that, or logistics. Now I can plan stuff, but logistics not really my thing. So a couple of tips that I learned at this trip that I think may be dope for you and whatever you got to do, whatever you want to do. Number one, get help. For example, I wouldn't have to re-record this Facebook Live if I had asked somebody how to do YouTube Live. If I'd asked somebody, hey, don't put in the earbud because it's not working, just do it on a regular mic. That's one. But two, funny story about my bad flight experience when I got here. And shout out to Daraj, my homie who's an artist, because it's funny, except for the fact that he called me and joked me about this. So get help doing the stuff you need to do. Find people that are good at the stuff you suck at and let them do it for you. So number one, I have an assistant because I'm not very administrative. Her name's Jessica. She'll probably be mad when she sees this. I tried to book my own flight to come here because, that's a simple thing, and that should be easy for regular people to do. I'm looking at flights to fly out of Norfolk, where I'm from, Norfolk, Virginia. And because I have a smaller airport, everything's flying right into Austin, like $400-$500 by the time I looked at it. Well, I can't do that. So my homie recommended checking some other airports. I found one. Flight was $200 less. Who doesn't want to save $200? I said, I'm in. Just booked it. Didn't do any sort of geographical search on where this airport actually was. I pull in. The Raj calls me, and he's like, hey, where you at? I was like, I don't know, 45 minutes, hour away. I'm just guessing. I haven't used Google Maps or anything, which I probably should have done. And he's like, cool, we'll meet you at the Airbnb. We'll go grab lunch. I'm like, word. So I'm on the way to pick up the rental car, and he's like, hey, where'd you say you were again? I was like, I'm at Dallas, Fort Worth. He's like, bro, you're like 4 hours away. Do you know that? I was like, so I'm going to meet you guys for lunch, save me some food. I had no idea I was 4 hours away from where I needed to be. So now, on top of a bad flight experience because my plane was delayed, now I had to drive 4 hours. What's the moral of the story? Should have had Jessica do it for me because she's much better at logistics and stuff than me. But sometimes I'm, make a dumb mistake and try to do stuff myself. Get people around you that can do stuff you're not good at because they'll always help you. Number two, I'm at South by because I love art, I love music, I love culture, I love everything that's going on. I want to know what's coming, I want to know how I can be impactful in that. And being here is just super inspirational, motivational. It is a fun thing to do. No matter what you want to do, no matter if it's art, vocation, well, no matter what your vocation is, no matter what you want to be involved in, get here or get there or go to a place where the people that are in your tribe are meeting so that you can be around where all those thought processes are happening and all the people are talking about things you care about because it'll inspire you and motivate you, get your juices flowing for the things you say you want to do, right? No matter what the investment is, no matter what you got to do to get there, right? Proverbs says, if it costs everything you have, get wisdom. Like, spend it, invest it, and go, you're going to get the dividends back. Get there and get around those people. Secondly, you can make connections and network with folk in a way that you can't just online or via email or even over the phone. It's a good thing to be in person. When you can walk up to somebody and say, yo, love learning from you, want to learn something, let me take you out to lunch, really like that song you put out, want to know more about what you would stage, relationships that you just wouldn't get, and everything hinges on relationships. People don't understand. Everything works on relationships. You can be amazingly talented and smart, but if you suck at being with people, nobody wants to deal with you. And when you have relationships face to face, that matters. Lloyd, what up, bro? What up, J. Lloyd? So being in the spot, being in the place, being in the conferences, being at the concerts, being at the events and the festivals and the fairs or whatever you want to do, find a way to get there and plan an event. A3C is later this year in October. I'm already looking at the dates and making plans because I'd like to go back. More than likely, that's where I'm going to be. So get there. Another thing that I learned at South by, all the amazing tools available to artists. Stuff is changing so much with tech and internet and all that. Like there's so many great tools, so many ways to take things in your own hands. And I'm naturally, I don't know what happened, my internet went out. I'm naturally a big networker. Like I love being with people. I love learning from people. I love just creating relationships and conversations. Somebody told me I'm a social introvert, which means I love being around a bunch of people, but I recharge being by myself. I always thought I was an extrovert, maybe just a bad one, but I like being with people. So it's nothing for me to just walk up to somebody, strike up a conversation, and build a relationship. I've learned how to do that. However, I've also learned that sometimes I don't feel like doing that, and I've got to make myself do that. So it's always good. Like if you're in a space where you can learn from somebody or build a relationship that you can both benefit from, you got to force yourself to network. And networking a lot of times is really just human psychology, learning how people work and understanding how people work. And the easiest way to do that is understanding how you work. Like if somebody wants to approach you and have a conversation, how do you prefer to be approached? How do you like when somebody walks up to you? If somebody only comes up to you to pull from you and to take from you, you're probably going to be a little apprehensive. So how can you walk up to somebody and build a relationship that will be the same way you'd like to have it built? So make sure that you do that in a way that you like to get it done. Walk up to somebody, make sure that, hey, I want to make sure that this time is mutually beneficial for the both of us. I want to tell you that I admire what you're doing. I want to learn from you. I'd love to treat you to a meal. I love to just get to know you better. And there's some things I would love to just kind of learn or build with you on. I mean, find out what the benefit of the relationship could be to the other person. Serve them first, and then you'll reciprocate that back to yourself. But you got to be intentional about networking. Don't just hope it happens. Go for it. And last thing, I kind of already said it. Just invest the time. Get it in. Like it's not easy for me to take trips. I had a beautiful wife and two amazing kids. That when I say yes to a trip, I have to leave them to go on it. When I say yes to a show, I got to leave them to go do it. When I'm going, to do some stuff in Africa, I got to leave. So like that's not fun for me to leave them. I don't like traveling as much as I used to. It's kind of not as fun anymore. However, it's worth it for the things that we both agree that we want to see us accomplish. So my wife gives me invest the time. I got to go get it. Whenever you say yes to something, you say no to something else. So if you're going to invest the time, make sure it's something not just to go look busy, but it's what you want to do. Invest the time in the right places where you get the most return for your time and for your money that you spend and all the stuff you're going to have to do. Invest that time and go get it in, but make sure that it's worth it. It's got to be absolutely worth it. But if it's worth it, invest the time, go work hard, but make sure that you get rest, like incorporate rest. And again, this is me being a hypocrite because resting is something I suck at doing. But when I do it, I feel fundamentally better. Like make sure you go get it, but make sure you plan times to rest, unplug, and make sure that you kind of recharge all the stuff that you get. You can't just fire hose everything. You got to take a moment to decompress and all that. Anyway, man, I hope those are just general like life hack tips. It's not anything specific about South by. But I hope for whatever you're doing, whatever God's calling you to, whatever you feel led to do, that is inspirational and motivational for you to kind of learn the things you need to learn and to go out there and get it, man. Find time and get out there, get the help that you need, get where you need to go to make it happen. Research what's available for you. Force yourself to network and invest the time to make it all worth your while. Anyway, it's your man Legend. I'm gonna drop more of this stuff, man. I'm really working on building up my YouTube page. So thank you for being here from the ground up. Shout out to Sean and Benji from Video Influencers. I've been watching them a lot, reading through their book, learning from them. And I just want to make sure that I throw out more content. I got a lot of stuff that people tell me is very helpful for them. I get DMs and IGs all the time, and I'm just like, okay, well, I want to make sure I throw more stuff out if it's helpful. That was my prayer, and if God's answering it, I want to make sure I'm more proactive with that. So subscribe below, share this with a friend, click the notification bell. New Fear Not podcast coming out Monday. If you follow my IG, I meant to have it out Thursday. I apologize, but it will be out Monday. Go subscribe to the Fear Not podcast. If you already subscribed here, you'll get it, notification bell. But iTunes, Fear Not podcast. Look up Fear Not Legend. You'll find it. And I'll put the links below when I drop. Hey man, you're welcome, Lee, man. Thank you for chiming in, bro. I really, really appreciate you being here through two blundered YouTube lives and one that actually worked out. So appreciate you, bro. Hope I get to see you again at Awakening. And if not, you know where to find me, bro. God bless you guys. As always, man, I'm here for the not for the fearless,